Moving on now to Double or Nothing. Double or Nothing 2024 was insane. Uh, let's see here. I had to go and pull up the site because I don't remember all of these matches. I had to watch them in clips. I'll put it that way. I had to watch things in clips. I really didn't get to watch much of it. Uh, but they had a grudge match: Thunder Rosa versus Deanna Perrazzo. Pretty sure Deanna Perrazzo won that one. She was holding the rope for leverage. They're talking about doing something for men and women's Owen Cup will get world title shots this time instead of title belts, so that's cool. Uh, Trios match: the Acclaimed, which is Anthony Bowen, Max Caster, and Daddy Ass, versus the Cage of Agony, Brian Cage, and the Gates of Agony. Let's see here. This was weird because they had Chance, the Vegas Golden Knights mascot, stole the chair, and Billy Gunn cradled Bishop to score the pinfall in this one. They got the Vegas Golden Knights hockey team involved in this. I thought that was cool. I really did. That was probably, in my opinion, that was one of the best moments of the whole pay per view. Um, and I thought it was great. And that wasn't even on the pay per view. That was part of the kickoff. Um, let's see, we had the international championship match. Uh, Roderick Strong going up against Will Ospreay, and new international champion, the aerial assassin Will Ospreay. What I don't understand was the whole feud going on with him and with Roddy and Orange to then it felt like they just ended that abruptly and switched gears. I thought that they were going to go with Orange getting it back. I really did. But now you got that title on Will Ospreay. What are you going to do next with him? And what are you going to do next with Roddy? What are you going to do next with Orange Cassidy? There's a lot there. Um, Adam Cole came down to the ring. MJF came out. That's crazy. Adam Cole was in the ring talking. Then all of a sudden, now you've got MJF returning. A lot of people weren't sure whether MJF was coming back to AEW or not. I didn't think he was leaving yet, but I'm fairly confident that there was a if his contract did indeed expire, his new one is freaking ridiculous to keep him to stay. Absolutely atrocious to keep him there. Let's see. Let's see here. We had the Unified World Trios Championship matchup. Uh, the Bang Bang Game, which is Switchblade, Jay White, the Guns, going up against Death Triangle. Jay White ended up uh, with the pin over Pac, and that was it. They retained their titles. AEW Women's World Championship match: Tony Storm versus Serena Deeb. This one was everything I wanted it to be, except for the finish. I really thought Serena Deeb was going to walk out your new title holder. Uh, I don't understand why I'm not seeing her winning a heavyweight title. She is fantastic in the ring. And Tony Storm, in my book, it wouldn't have been a bad time for her to drop the belt. Not at all, not in the least. I get what they're I get it, but now what's next for Serena Deeb? Does she go back to the drawing board? Does she try to get back up in there? What do we got going on? Grudge match: Orange Cassidy, Trent Beretta. This thing was ugly. They were going crazy. Orange Cassidy ended up getting the win over Trent Beretta, but these two were going nuts. They were going all over the place. Let's see here. Three-way FTW championship match, FTW rules. the learning tree. So he's no longer the Ocho. He's no longer the Lionheart. He's no longer any of these other monikers that he's had. He's changing his moniker every month now. It's the learning tree. Chris Jericho versus Hook versus Shibata, which I still didn't understand why this was a three-way match. It to me, it didn't make much sense. What I came up with is they needed a schmoz finish and they needed somebody to take that L, and it went pretty much exactly like I thought it would go. You had Brian Keith come down. It's like, whoa, what? The bounty hunters now with Jericho. Okay. Now what? Now what are we doing here? So Hook ended up hitting Keith with the kendo stick. Then you had Jericho hit Hook with a Judas effect. Jericho covered Shibata. So Shibata took that L. Hook didn't take the loss. Now Hook has a gripe and Hook can get another match. That's what I see going on there. But what about Shibata? Well, he wasn't really much of a thing to it anyway. There wasn't any real story built around Shibata. You love Jericho, but hate the whole learning tree thing. Apparently, apparently the whole learning tree thing is actually a dig at Vince McMahon. I read something the last couple of days, and that's what the basis of it became. Chris Jericho is basically like Vince McMahon with the learning tree, is the way it was explained. Um, IWGP World Heavyweight Championship Eliminator match. So this basically means if you win, you can get a shot at the title. If you lose, you don't get a shot at it. John Moxley going up against Takeshita. I'm not going to try to pronounce the old boy's name. It's just not happening. It's just Takeshita. Let's see here. This was one I don't remember if I was able to see everything. Um, oh, it's Takashita. Is it Takashita? Is it? Nah, whatever. Kanushi. No, this is Takashita. The other one's Takeshita. This is Takashita. Got it. My bad. Anyway, Takashita ended up with some chairs in the ring. Moxley curb stomped him into a chair, hit the Death Rider, and pinned him. And that was that. So now there's still no true number one contender for the IWGP World title, which is held by Mox. Crazy shit here. TNT Championship, barbed wire, steel cage match. Adam Copeland, Malachi Black. I'm going to go ahead and say this. I'm going to go ahead and say this right now. I understand they didn't know the severity of the injury when it happened. However, if you're Malachi Black, you got to be looking at this like, okay, I was just in this match, and now the title's forfeited the next day after I lost it. My opinion, if it was that bad, you could have had some communication there going, hey, look, he's fucked up. Let's go ahead and change the finish here. Let's go ahead and call the finish different. And I think the world would have shit for Copeland to lose with Gangrel and all that. Definitely the world would have shit because he broke his leg jumping off the top of the cage and landing pretty much on his feet instead instead of the table and stuff. Like it's a rough bump. It's a rough thing anyway to do. No lie about it. That's a common thing to attempt to do. But why are you going to do it then? That becomes my issue. Why are you going to do it? If it's going to be that common and that complicated, why are you bothering? I don't understand. That pay-per-view, Double or Nothing, was huge. There was a ton of freaking matches on that shit. Um Lexi Nair, nope. There it is, TBS Championship match. Willow Nightingale versus Mercedes Monet. And Mercedes walked away with the title. So here's my thing. I get that they've had a rivalry and they've done stuff together in Japan. That's cool. You're putting your mid card title uh, on Mercedes Monet. Okay, all right, but why? Here's my thing. Did you just not want to put her directly in the heavyweight title or in the women's title picture? All right, then. Okay, I get it. But I don't know. Maybe it's sour grapes. Whenever she gets a title, one of two things happens: she gets hurt, or she is ready to leave. So let's hope she's having a good time. Let's hope she continues to work there, and let's hope that they do something with this. Let's see here. I still can't believe they put the belt on her. Pretty much her first chance at anything, and she gets the title. It's crazy. And now it's time for the AEW World Title matchup: Swerve Strickland versus Christian Cage. Super hopeful that they're gonna keep going with this. But it we just had Christian got pinned. Swerve's still your champ. What are we doing though? Because Dynamite told us all about what's coming next. So it kind of makes it look like they're doing throw shit at the wall and see what sticks booking. That doesn't work in pro wrestling. Uh, I've seen it. I've worked some shows that operate like that. And when you're the promoter and you're the heavyweight champion and you're defending against a dude who, by all intents and purposes, I mean, can he do the wrestles? Yeah, he can do the wrestling stuff, but he's really not popular. He's not a draw. I don't understand the point of the match. But that's just me. That's why I call it throw shit at the wall booking. Um, but trust me, booking can be considered rocket science because not everybody can do it. Um, Anarchy in the arena match, the Elite versus Team AEW, and the Elite win this one. Uh, the fire for Jack Perry, crazy. Uh, Darby Allen being nuts with a flamethrower. It's been a long week. It has been a long week. I'm waiting on David to get back too. That asshole. But that was everything, man. Jack Perry jumped in the ring, hit Danielson with a running knee, and hit the pin. That's how it went. That's how that pay per view ended. Crazy how much content they shove into it's 10 pounds of shit in a 5-pound sack. That is what AEW looked like when they did this. That many matches, this card. It was stacked. It had a ton of content to it. All good things. There was probably some stuff that didn't need to be on pay per view there, in my opinion. I get it that they're trying to look different than the other company. That's great. Give your audience a little bit of breathing room. Give your wrestlers more room for changing things, or how things go, or the pace of whatever. Give everything a little bit of time to breathe. It's just my opinion, though. That is just my opinion. And that was it for Double or Nothing.